Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey and I'm here to catch up with you. I intended to film a finish the month with me type of vlog just because every week in December I like to film a weekly reading vlog. I feel like it's a lot easier for me as the end of the year is winding down to kind of focus on a weekly reading vlog over any additional videos and stuff like that. So I just like to talk about what I'm reading. I do have one video idea, two actually, if I make do with what I'm planning to do. I have some video ideas. Some weeks will just be reading vlogs. So the idea in a sense for this reading vlog was to finish November with me, knowing that I would be posting this once November was over. So in this vlog, you will be seeing me finish Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro. I also managed to finish Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. And I got a couple more pages into The Sword of Kaigen halfway, so we'll be finishing it in next week's vlog. So now I will cut to the past. We'll go back to last week and I'll meet you back at the end of the video. Hello, so welcome to the first day of this vlog. I'm sure I said it in the introduction, but I need to finish quite a few books before the end of November. It is currently November 27th. I have 3 full days to get done what needs to be done. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my TBR and what I need to get done before the end of the week. I'm currently uploading my BTS vlog, which I will leave link up above because it will obviously go up before this one. I'm also making turmeric rice for lunch. Turmeric rice is like a great passion of mine. I just love the taste of turmeric and like the health benefits, and I've been feeling really not ill lately, but I've been experiencing a lot of cramps, digestive issues, so sometimes I have turmeric and that makes me feel a bit better. The turmeric rice also has garlic in it and chicken broth, so all over it is just a pretty well balanced thing to have. I'm going to add some vegetables and some tuna for lunch, but you're not here to know about the food. You're here to know about the books that I need to read. The first of which is Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro. I'm reading this for the Professor Kelsey's book club, and that was for the month of November. The live show will probably be within the next week or so. I'm currently on page 357, so I'm well over halfway through the book. Am I enjoying it? No. Usually I love historical fantasies. This is essentially a historical fantasy that takes place in the 1800s, and it follows a group of kids that are essentially imbued with these talents, and they have certain powers, and they are hunted by this man named Jacob Marber. I just finished a section where we learned about Jacob Marber's life and how he kind of embodied this more villainous role to the children, and now the children are at this school. The first part of the book is really following these two specific storylines for these two specific children named Charlie and Marlo, and how they kind of come into contact with a woman named Alice, and Alice is taking them to a school in Scotland because they have these talents, because they are these strange children. And then we moved into a second part that focused on Jacob Marber and how he became the sort of villain character that we have. We also met 2 children within that chapter, one girl named Komaku and another girl named Ribs, and both of them have specific powers, and they are currently at the Scotland school when Charlie and Marlo arrive. So I think once we have gotten to this school, I'm definitely enjoying the story more. I think it's also because it's focusing on the children. They have more vibrant personalities than the adults, but I definitely wasn't enjoying the last 300 pages before now. So I will be continuing this. My goal is to potentially get at least 200 more pages into it, at least page 500. So I only have 150 pages left to read of this tomorrow. I am also not that far into Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. This is my friend Danny over at Current Chapters Patreon book club pick for November. I have been slacking. I'm so sorry, Danny. I have been slacking on the book club picks. I didn't read the October one, and I'm slacking in the November one. Although I am enjoying this way more than Ordinary Monsters, I just haven't had the time to pick it up. And it follows a young boy named Mamoru, and he is part of the Matsuda family. The Matsudas are the greatest swordsmen of the Kanganese Empire, and it also follows the perspective of his mother Misaki, and we don't know much about them right now. We're really following Momoru's first day of school. Hello darkness, my old friend. And Misaki's discussions with the women in the town, and it's implied that she knows a bit more. And what I've heard about this book is that she kind of takes on the sword again when something bad happens. What that bad thing is, who knows? But I'm very excited because I really like Misaki as a character so far. I really love like mundane and day-to-day discussions between women in more misogynistic or patriarchal societies. I think that it's really fascinating when they take on this sort of mantle of being a powerful person. So I'm very excited to see where this goes, but I'm definitely not that far in. I'm only like 90 pages in, which is a travesty, and I need to read more of this. And then finally, my friend Ness and I are starting a buddy read of Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. I don't know how many pages we'll get into it, but I'm not too worried about this one. I did want to do its own dedicated vlog because I really loved Legends and Lattes, which is the first book in this companion series. This is the prequel. Legends and Lattes follows an orc named Viv, and Viv comes into this town to start her own coffee shop after she's given up sort of the mantle of being this soldier type of character into a city where nobody knows what coffee is, and it's a very sweet story of her finding her place in this town. This, from what I understand, is the prequel where she is one of those battle-hungry mercenary type of characters. From what I understand, she finds a bookshop. We will be starting this today. I wanted to do my very own vlog, but I think I'm just going to include it in here because it is quite short and I'm not sure how much I would have to say, and if I have a lot, well, then you just have more in this vlog. So those are my plans for today. I am also working, but I am listening to most of these on audio, and I don't have a pretty like big thinking day. I just have a lot of like menial tasks to do, so I think I will be good with reading these things. But that's it for this update because it's already 8 minutes long, and I'll see you later. Hello. So it is almost 11 p.m. at night, and I wanted to give a quick update about my day before I went to sleep, just so you know. This is the spare room. It's where my office is. It's where I record my stuff. All of the lights burnt out except for the one that doesn't face me. So that's why the lighting in here is a bit suckish, but I also don't feel like adjusting anything because we're just going to talk quickly about what I did today. So as for Ordinary Monsters, I did get to my goal of 500 pages. Well, not 500 pages read, but 2-page 500 basically. The story is sort of picking up, but also still remaining kind of a slower paced book and not really something that I'm enjoying as much. I am, as mentioned, enjoying the child characters still, and I find their story to be fascinating and what they're kind of being tasked with right now, but this is definitely not my favorite sort of story. My goal is definitely to finish listening to it on audio tomorrow so I can at least have one book done before the end of the month. I was less successful with sort of Kaigen in terms of how much I read. I did read 100 more pages today, which is still pretty good, but I wanted to get to about the 250 page mark and I just didn't have time. I did spend quite a bit of time, like an hour and a half on TikTok at the end of my workday because I was just really exhausted. Like I said, I did want to get to page 250. In regards to how much I read, I wasn't as successful, but this is so far one of my better reads for the end of the month. We had a couple of chapters where we were following Misuki and who she was before she came to marry a Matsuda in her village. So we see that Misuki is a very strong character. She seems to have been a like hero of the village where she went to school, a very good swordsman. She explains in here that she had quite traditional parents, which is why she ends up marrying Masuda and having kids with him, despite not really loving him. So I'm very interested to see. Sorry if it's a little bit different. I had to remove some old videos because I'm running out of space on this phone. But essentially, we know that the synopsis explains that an invasion is coming, and we know that Misuki is clawing her way to going back to being a warrior, and a very good warrior at that. And then lastly, I promised my friend Ness that we would read 100 pages per day of Bookshops and Bone Dust, but I did only manage to get to 52 pages before bed. I might read a bit more, but this is reading super easy. I think if I just devote some time to it in the day, I will get 150 pages read tomorrow. But so far it's been so cute. So this is the story of Viv. She gets stabbed in the leg and she must stay at this inn while she's healing, and she's sort of forming a bond or a kinship with a bookshop owner who lends her books. So right now she's on her second book and the cozy vibes are there. The reading is there. I'm enjoying it so far. But that's it. I will get myself to bed now, and I will probably see you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. I am just getting started with my workday. Please ignore my pimple patches. This may be TMI, maybe not. But I stopped the pill a couple of months ago, and I feel like I'm going through a second puberty, and that means I've been like breaking out. I have another one like here. I've been breaking out and it's getting a lot better. I changed up my skincare routine, but I do have like leftover pimples and stuff that I just really want to get rid of, and so I'm trying my best not to pop them, not to make my cheeks worse. Like this cheek, perfect. This cheek, horrendous. Try not to make my cheeks worse. However, I did stay home from work today. I felt a tickle in my throat, and I don't want to really infect people until I'm like sure that it's nothing. It's getting very, very, very cold, and often I get like a little bit of allergies from the changing of the weather, the dust from putting the heaters on, stuff like that. So because I stayed home today, it's going to be a lot easier to continue with my reads. I was a bit worried that I wouldn't get a lot done today, but thankfully I'm going to be able to do quite a bit today. So I think what I'm going to do is, while I am working on, again, my menial tasks, I'm going to listen to Ordinary Monsters, probably get that done today, which is the good thing. Later, I might focus more on Bookshops and Bone Dust, so I have the 150 pages read, prioritized, and then save the Sword of Kaigen for tonight. But yeah, I just finished my coffee, so I'm going to really get into that. I'll probably start Ordinary Monsters, and I will see you later. Hello, so it's sort of the end of the day. It's 9:45. I won't be going to bed anytime soon, but I did want to come on here and say that my goal to finish Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro succeeded today. I did read 150 pages, so congrats to me. Was this a successful read for me? I don't know. I decided I'm going to give this a 3 stars. I'll go into more of my thoughts in the live show that I'll be scheduling for next week. So possibly right after this video comes out. So if you would like to partake in this discussion, there should be a live channel video link somewhere. But I settled on a 3 stars. Like I mentioned, I really enjoyed the like magical children characters. I thought their bond together was really fun, really cute. Once they started becoming like main characters, the plot of the novel really advanced, and a lot of things started to connect, and how they related to the antagonist villain in the story was really interesting. Speaking of that villain, Jacob, I really liked that he was this like shadowy figure. I thought that that was really interesting. But besides that, I think this novel really suffered from pacing issues. It took quite a bit of time to get through scenes, to get through moments between the characters, and I think that that really inhibited my enjoyment of the book. I feel resentful for how long this book took. For almost 700 pages, it felt even longer. It felt like 2,000 pages. So much of my time was spent listening to this book, and it's because those scenes are so long. It feels like you're stuck in this scene for such a long time, so it just made the book feel like a longer read than it actually was. I didn't actually read it in that much time. It only took me like 8 days to read 700 pages. It's just a 3 star for me. Really average. Like I enjoyed some elements, didn't enjoy others. I would probably give it a 2.5 stars, but I'm giving it 3 stars to be generous. With that, I will now be moving into the 2 books I have left to read for the end of the month. I am going to start making a dent into Bookshops and Bone Dust. I'm going to get to the 200 page mark. That way I'm well over halfway through the book by tonight. And if I have time, I'm just going to try and get more into the Sword of Kaigen. But this will definitely be my priority for the next 2 days after this. Maybe I'll update you later tonight, not 100% sure, probably update you tomorrow. So it's a new day. This end of the month vlog is not going well for me mentally. Yesterday I had a like 1 year follow-up at the doctor's office, and obviously all day I was anticipating this doctor's visit, so I wasn't 100% here. I wasn't doing anything. I didn't even read. Then I had the doctor's appointment. If you watched my Thrillathon vlog last year, you'll know that I went into like an emergency surgery last year. So this was the 1 year follow-up, and I did not receive the news I was hoping for. So mentally, we're suffering. So obviously, if you saw in the B-roll, I went to an all-you-can-eat sushi place with my friend. It's really cool. It's called Manga Bistro in Montreal. They have like a bunch of anime art on the walls. They have figurines from different anime and manga. It was like kind of One Piece themed, kind of like popular anime stuff. It was really chill. It was really cool. The food was excellent. Cannot complain for an all-you-can-eat sushi place. Would probably go back. Today I have quite a bit of stuff to do for work. I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done, in all honesty, but I like to keep these vlogs as like video diaries. So we'll see what I'm able to do in the next afternoon. I might go to the gym, I might not. Maybe like give myself like breathing room, but also like working out kind of helps me mentally. So we'll see how this goes. Otherwise, I'll see you later. I'll get back to work and I'll update you if something interesting happens. So I got my gifts for the Citadel Secret Santa. If you don't know, I'm part of Mel Reed's Patreon. Sorry for the washer in the background, but I got my Secret Santa gifts. I'm so excited. I should also fill you in for what I've been reading. So I am almost done Bookshops and Bone Dust. So much for finishing it before November. Am I right, ladies? I'm at page 256. Still really enjoying it. I think the plot is a lot more constructive or like engaging than Legends and Lattes, if I'm being honest. But I think the coziness is lacking here. So it might not be the full 5 stars, but I'm definitely enjoying it like as an experience. Sword of Kaigen. I need to finish it. I'm not even like halfway through that book and I am enjoying it. It's just that I have been in such a reading slump these last like couple of months that it's been really difficult to focus on books. We have to leave at 6 o'clock, so I have plenty of time. I have like about 2 hours before I need to leave. My hair is already like washed and cleaned. It's just in a bun. So I think that I can probably finish this within the next hour, get ready, and then maybe hit a couple of pages of Sword of Kaigen before we need to go to my friend's Christmas party. So I'm gonna get dressed because we have to wear ugly sweaters, but me and my boyfriend have cute sweaters because I have this weird thing with texture and usually like on my skin, and I find like ugly Christmas sweaters always feel weird on my skin, so I don't like it. So we tend to get cute ones, and I'm sorry. So welcome back to the end. Sorry I didn't get anything done like I wanted to. The end of the year is always more reading slumpy for me, which is why I tend to focus on like easier books in the month of December, or if you'll see soon in the next installments of my weekly vlogs in December, books I don't really necessarily care about, but I know I need to have read are gonna be read. But let's focus on what we are here for. I did in fact finish Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree yesterday, or the day before that, I believe. And I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. Much like with the first book, this was just so cozy and warm to read. I love how Viv was discovering these books that she was enjoying and taking time for herself. We definitely see that in the first book, but it was nice to see, even though she was in her like swashbuckling era, she was still taking time to relax. I also think that what push this one a bit higher for me as well is that the plot in this one is far more developed, and we really see in this one how Viv's personality came to be from this like, you know, warrior to this soft person who opens like a coffee shop. She was still soft and kind and with the need to help those that she loves, but she had a far more willingness to chop bodies in this one. Basically, the necromantic element of this book really shined. I really enjoyed that aspect. It was a cool magical element and it really added to the novel. I also really enjoyed the side characters. Fern, Maylie, Satchel, and Galena, I think, were all really different from each other, but also extremely well fleshed out. The setting was also super vibrant because it was like this coastal, cozy little town, and I just feel like it added to that coziness that Baldree is just so good at doing. And the epilogue, of course, really made me smile, so I'm excited to see where Travis Baldree goes next in the series. I hope there is some sort of continuation next, but I will settle for pretty much anything that he writes. And then just for you guys, I did get 310 pages into the Sword of Kaigen, which means that I am halfway done. We are getting really into the thick of the plot now. It definitely took 200 or so pages to get started in what I think I was expecting right away, but I did really enjoy that it took that long because we did have this development between Misaki and her children, and Misaki's role in her marriage, in her family, and then how that is going to be turned on its head as the war starts. Now we're in the thick of the first battle of the war. I'm assuming there will be more. Misaki is being really badass. I'm very excited to continue this. I'm probably going to focus on this tonight while also editing this vlog so that I can get it out for you tomorrow. But that's it. That's the end of this vlog. Please let me know how November went for you. Hopefully it was way less slumpy than it was for me. Have you read any of the books I talked about in this vlog? Did you like them? Did you hate them? Let me know. And of course, because it is the end of the video, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Tell you every time, but it does wonders for my channel. It makes me feel really good. And also, I forgot to mention that if you would like to follow me on any of my other social medias, I do leave a link down below to my Twitter, X, Goodreads, and Instagram if you would like to follow me there. And that's it. I never know how to end these things, so I will see you next time. Okay, bye!